In the early 3rd century BC, a merchant stood on the shore of a foreign city with nothing but the clothes on his back. His name was Zeno. Just days earlier, he had been wealthy, a trader moving goods across the Mediterranean, confident in his fortune and future. Then the sea decided otherwise. A storm rose without warning. His ship split against the rocks. His cargo vanished beneath the water. In a single night, the life he built dissolved into the horizon. No insurance, no backup plan, no one to blame. Imagine that kind of loss. Not a minor inconvenience, not a setback you can recover from in a month, but total collapse. Who are you when what you built disappears? Would you rage at the sky, curse fate, spend years replaying the moment in your mind? Most people would. But this loss did not destroy Zeno. It redirected him. Instead of drowning in self-pity, he wandered into a bookstore in Athens and began reading philosophy. What began as an accident became an awakening. From that shipwreck came a school of thought that would influence emperors, slaves, soldiers, and thinkers for over 2,000 years, stoicism. And at its core was a radical idea. The world is not obligated to cooperate with your plans, but your mind is yours. That distinction changes everything. We spend much of our lives believing stability comes from what we own, achieve, or control. We say, once I get that promotion, once I buy that house, once everything finally settles down, then I'll be at peace. But peace built on conditions is fragile, because conditions change. Wealth shifts, health falters, people leave, storms arrive. The Stoics understood something most people resist. Security built on externals is an illusion. Zeno didn't rebuild his fortune immediately. He rebuilt his perspective. He asked a different question. If I cannot control what happens, what can I control? That question is the foundation of Stoic philosophy. Today, Stoicism is often misunderstood. People think it means suppressing emotion, being cold, unshakable, detached. But Stoicism was never about becoming stone. It was about becoming steady. There is a difference. The Stoics didn't deny grief. They didn't pretend pain didn't exist. They simply refused to let emotion dictate judgment. You cannot stop the wave from rising, but you can decide whether to let it carry you out to sea. One of the most powerful Stoic practices is something called negative visualization. Not pessimism, preparation. Instead of assuming everything will go right, imagine that it might not. Picture losing the job. Picture the plan failing. Picture the delay, the rejection, the inconvenience. Why? Because the shock of suffering often hurts more than the suffering itself. We aren't devastated because rain exists. We're devastated because we expected sunshine. But if you leave the house knowing it might rain, you carry an umbrella. Expectation shapes emotional reaction. The Stoics trained themselves to expect difficulty, not to live in fear, but to live without surprise. When hardship arrives, it feels familiar rather than catastrophic. They even practiced voluntary discomfort, sleeping on hard floors, fasting, wearing simple clothing, not because suffering is noble, but because comfort is addictive. When you prove to yourself that you can endure less, fear loses its leverage over you. If you know you can survive without luxury, you stop chasing it desperately. And when you stop chasing, you start choosing. Modern life constantly tells us we are incomplete. Advertisements whisper that happiness is one purchase away. Social media suggests everyone else is ahead. Comparison becomes a daily ritual. We measure our value by visibility, our worth by income, our success by applause. But those metrics belong to the world, not to you. And the world is unstable. Markets crash, trends fade, reputation shifts overnight. If your self-worth depends on variables outside your control, your emotional life will always be volatile. The Stoics proposed a different foundation. Your character, your discipline, your integrity, these are internal. These cannot be taken by storms. There is a principle in Stoicism called the dichotomy of control. It sounds simple. Some things are up to you, some things are not. Your thoughts, your choices, your effort. Up to you, weather, other people's opinions, random events. Not up to you. Most anxiety comes from confusing these categories. We try to control outcomes. We obsess over how others perceive us. We replay conversations in our heads, attempting to rewrite what already happened. Energy wasted on the uncontrollable drains power from what is controllable. Imagine the clarity of focusing only on your side of the equation. You cannot control whether someone respects you. But you can control whether you act respectably. You cannot control whether success arrives, but you can control whether your effort is honest. That shift reclaims enormous mental energy. The Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius, one of the most powerful men in history, reminded himself daily, "You have power over your mind, not outside events, not a slave, not a monk, an emperor." Even he recognized that authority over others means little without authority over self. Stoicism is not about becoming indifferent to life. It is about becoming intentional within it. It teaches resilience without bitterness, ambition without attachment, presence without panic. When you stop demanding that life unfold according to your script, you begin adapting to its rhythm instead. The storm still comes, but you are no longer shocked by thunder. Think back to Zeno on that shoreline, a man stripped of wealth, standing in uncertainty. That moment could have been the end of his story. Instead, it was the beginning, because he discovered something more valuable than cargo. He discovered that the only true fortress is internal, not made of stone, not guarded by walls, but built from perception. When you understand what is yours to govern and release what is not, you become difficult to destabilize, not invincible, not emotionless, but grounded. And in a world that constantly shifts beneath our feet, grounding is power. The sea may take your ship. It cannot take your judgment. Life may remove your plans. It cannot remove your capacity to respond. That is the discipline. That is the strength. That is the inner citadel.